Alright, so I'll talk about some of the mods I made on my Hubsan, the camera version, H107c. Was my dad's, the stock one. This is the way mine looked when it came, with a little camera module, and you can see the circuitry inside there. Little memory card goes in there. Just a stock Hubsan. And I'll bring out mine. This is what mine looks like. I painted it. It's got some war wounds on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this LED. It's supposed to look like this one here, but I brought it up too high, it went out of range, got upside down, and for some reason, I don't know if it's just mine, but when it gets upside down and it tries to find which way's up, it just accelerates towards the ground and compounds the issue. But whatever, that's fine. This thing's built like a tank, and I haven't really truly broke one more than bending the arms out of socket and breaking the LEDs every once in a while. So you probably noticed right off the bat that I painted it, that so me and Dad could fly at the same time and it was easy to see whose was who. I also put this pipe cleaner on there to tell which way it's oriented. When it's very high up there and it's just a speck, I have a hard, and it starts getting pushed by the wind, I start to wonder which ways it's actually facing. So this really stands out in the sunlight, this little pipe cleaner. It's so light, it doesn't make any weight, doesn't make it rear heavy or anything like that. Another thing I did was, in addition to painting it, I put my phone number on there, and it actually has. I've lost it. Went up so high, the wind took it. It disappeared. I thought it was lost for good, and a couple hours later I got a phone call saying he found my little Hubsan. So it's already saved me just by having my phone number here. I also renamed my memory card with my phone number as well, if you don't want to paint it on there. If someone finds it and thinks they're going to see what's on the memory card, they're going to see that it's named your phone number, and it's all the honor system at that point. So, like I said, I'm going to change the LED, so I need to take this thing open and expose the circuitry, and I'll show you what I did on the inside. Before I show you the inside, I want to show you the transmitter. This is mine. I painted it white up here so it stands out from anyone else's, so they can just, I know that I pick up the one with the stupid white band on the top, and that's mine. It's, other than the paint up here, it's stock. Typical Hubsan controller. This one, so I had lost one in flight, went up, just disappeared, never found it. I didn't put my phone number on it. That's how I knew to put my phone number on it. So I had an extra remote. I bought a new one, or my dad bought me a new one, and that's why I have this one. And came with a new remote. I know he could have got the just the standalone quadcopter, but he got me the whole kit, and it's pretty much the same price, so might as well. I have this one set to a little bit stronger rates than this one. This is the one I use when I'm filming. And what I did was I took this off, and I had a crash pack from the last one. It had 2 extra feet on it. And so I took those little rubber boots off, and I took this off of the controller, and I noticed that they fit right on there. So I put some rubberized black caulking in there, and I squished it on there, and I think I let it sit upside down like that overnight. And so this one has higher rates, and it's much easier. It's closer. I don't fly like this, so yeah, I fly with like this with the thumbs without pinching. But I suppose you could do it like this too. It's just a little bit more twitchy. And I kind of like that for when I'm tanking around fast. So I have these two transmitters that I bring with me, and I can choose which one I want to do, whether I just want... This is like... Oh, this is missing. This is like as slow as it goes, like 5%, or I forget what the lowest it is. But yeah, I slowed it all the way down so I can take nice, smooth videos, and they're not, you know, they don't shake so much. So that's that about the transmitters. I'll probably speed this up for you, but yeah, this is me taking it apart. Already took the screws and the feet off. It comes apart. You have to really be careful with those, all these wires. Rip the contacts right off the circuit board. There's nothing left to solder to. Just rip the contacts right off the stupid circuit board. So frustrating working with these little tiny circuit boards and the wires that get in the way. So you can see I put some over the important stuff. These are just the power contacts, and I put some liquid electrical tape over the important stuff. If you look at the bottom here, I'll compare the other one. You can't see anything in there because it's all coated in the liquid electrical tape. And I've ended up in the pool a couple times, and it's just fine. Take it right out of the water and keep flying it. But yeah, coated, I think, the whole bottom side of this one. And where is it? Oh, there's little LEDs up here on the bottom side of these for the eyes. I put clear fingernail polish over them, and that works good. Another thing I did, you can see, let's move this out of the way. I need to remelt that hot glue. I filed the back end here with a little file. So I worked that over so I could have enough room to put this tail in, so it wasn't rubbing up against the battery. So this area here is flush. You know, when the battery goes in, it doesn't have to rub up against that pipe cleaner wire. I also hot glued my crazy power cord, and I also notched away for that too. I don't know if you can see that, but it is notched away so it doesn't rub with the battery coming in and out. So I notched this back fin out quite a bit. And like I said, I've ripped these stupid, crashing it and the battery comes flying out, or just trying to unplug it, or a kid gets it. You can just rip those leads right off the circuit board if you're not careful. So let's see if I can get it to show you. This pipe cleaner, I know it looks dumb at first, but to be honest with you, I brought this out of the drawer to show you guys what a stock one looks like. Surely you guys know what a stock one looks like. But it just looks so alien, like a little cat without a tail. If you're just used to seeing a standard house cat and then you see a bobcat or something like that without a tail, it just looks so funny. But I'm just so used to seeing that tail on that quadcopter because I fly it so often that a regular one looks funny. So anyways, I enjoy it, and you can see I cut the pipe cleaner to length. It's probably 3.5 inches long, and I separated the wire a little bit there. Can you see it? I stripped it of its little orange fibers there for the first 1/4 inch, and I spread them out so there's more surface area to glue to. And there's a good hunk of hot glue right here, so I do need to remelt it when I solder that back in. If you guys can see, it's coming loose. So anyway, it helps out a lot. Let me just promise you, I'm sure you can do that to any quadcopter. A bigger one could probably get a more full-sized one. So let me replace this LED and I'll get it back to going. Guess the joke's on me. I have a crash pack, but the blue stupid LED out of it is a red LED. So I'd rather have a missing LED than 3 red ones. It's not that big a deal. It just motivated me to make the video. Anyway, this is an old camera module. Standard definition. I upgraded to a higher definition one. You can see I totally covered the thing in that electrical tape. Careful not to get it in here with these contacts. If it erases the video because the water gets in the stupid bay, that's fine. That's happened before. I just soak the whole button in the rubber cement and it works fine. I just don't want it to destroy the module. I know they're cheap, but I'm cheaper. So I just put super glue around that so water doesn't get in the lens, or clear fingernail polish, doesn't really matter. Yep, so that's that. This stupid one I upgraded because the contact just ripped right off the circuit board, the grounding contact. So I tried to solder it to that. It worked for a little bit, but I think I soldered it to the wrong contact point. I don't think that's right. It lights up and runs. Yeah, let me try to plug it in for you. I soldered these leads on just so I could see if it would work, but I don't have a purpose for this little camera. Come on. Yeah, but something's wrong. That's all it does. It's supposed to flash red too. So those, I waterproof those with the clear fingernail polish. I did that first, and then I was sure not to get the black goop on it. So, joke's on me. I don't have a blue LED like I thought I did. But there it is. This, I'm not going to dig it out because it looks just like that thing. It's coated the same with the super glue around the lens. So let me power it up and show you what it looks like. These things are so hardy. I've crashed it so many times. I've certain upside down, full throttle, going upside down like this, smashing into concrete, and the worst thing that happens is the paint chips a little. My aftermarket paint chips, and an LED breaks. I must have done that 6 times, and it's still flying with the same body panels. I think the one that chipped it, it landed upside down on my car. I'll just pause it. Anyway, so I'm going to try to fly it and let you see what it looks like, you know, as it's flying about. I won't compare it to that one, but you can already see how easy it is to pick up that orange tail and which way it's oriented. Several times I've lost it in the sky, looked down to see where I'm walking or something like that, and it's just gone. And that orange tail is the first thing I see. I don't know about you guys, but I like to fly up high and see what's around me. So anyway, if you ever change the motors, there's a sweet little, really strong magnet in there that I take out, and it's fun to play with. So don't just throw away the motor. Take it apart and get that cool little magnet out of there. Alright, so let's go fly this thing. Oh, I was going to show you what it looked like. Plug it in. Show you how I do the battery. So what I do is I take the lead, twist it like that. Let's see if you can see that. There's these little teeth down here. And I just push that in like that. It really holds it pretty good like that. So you can see this LED is broken. Go ahead and just plug this one in. You see how you can still see those power on, and then if I was to push it, it would blink red, and I don't want to do that right now. I'll do that in a minute. All right, now let's go fly it. Oh, one more thing. When you're flying your quadcopter and say it gets out of sight or the wind takes it, or for whatever reason you panic and crash somewhere and you can't find it, I've made the mistake enough times to know, don't do that, don't shut it off, and then go look for it. You leave it on, leave it connected, because oftentimes you can rev up the motor and listen for it. If you turn it off and then turn it back on, it has lost its link with the quadcopter and it won't communicate with the controller anymore, even though you were just controlling it just a second ago. It's lost its channel or whatever it was synced on. So leave it on, don't panic and turn it off, just leave it on, walk with it and just listen for it. Go like this and listen for it. Even if it's hung up on leaves and stuff like that, you can still hear it go. Alright, so I moved the camera outside and we're gonna film. So one thing I forgot to say is you see my telephone number on there. If you're the type of guy that figures if something happens, it flies through a window or breaks a windshield, and you're just gonna chuck the crazy controller in the bushes and then hightail it out of there, obviously you're not gonna want to put your phone number on it. But I'm not that type of guy, so I put my phone number on it. And I'll own up to, this thing. I like these things better than the bigger ones, because the smaller they are, the less likely they are to, hurt someone or something. Fly it into some kids and maybe break the skin, maybe. But it's not likely that it's really going to hurt anybody. Or a window or something like that. I don't even know if it could break a window, maybe an old one. Alright, so I'll power this thing on, fly it around so you can see what that, we're just doing this video on the tail. When that thing gets out in the sun, it just pops. Hopefully I'm at a good angle and you can see it fly up in the air. I'll try to keep it in the frame. So we're connected. Let me twist the battery wires. Alright. I'm going to start the recording. I like to watch the red light blink 3 times to make sure that it didn't error out or something like that. Sometimes it just doesn't respond at all. So it's a little windy today. Probably 5 miles to 8 miles an hour. I'll fly through those palm trees, but I'd look stupid and crash it for sure if I tried to show off on camera. Yeah, it's pretty gusty. I probably should have had my higher. I just switched it to high rates, so the camera quality is going to be probably terrible. I don't even know if you can see that, but my eyes can see that orange pretty good. I don't know what it's like on the camera, but I can just tell which way it's oriented instantly, even if I have it on high rates. Here next to the house, it's possible. Yeah, I can't even, on this slow one, I can't even keep up with the breeze today on low rates. So the camera quality is going to be probably terrible because I'm on high rates, very shaky. I'll probably tag it in the end of this video so you can see what it looks like. And I guess that battery wasn't charged or something because it just died. Oh, and a mockingbird was coming to see what I was doing. I like to play with the mockingbirds. They're not very happy with me.